Hello, welcome to my kitchen. I'm so excited today because I've not made some air fried wings in a while, and today I am making a great combination of spicy wings with a dry rub and drizzled with some Alabama white sauce. So if you've never heard of that or had that, you're in for a treat today. So welcome to my stream, and we are going to get right to it. So as you know, for anyone making air fried wings, or actually wings that are cooked in the oven as opposed to frying them or grilling them, although I think this would actually help with grilling also, is you want to dry out your wings. So, and what I do, I've learned from other YouTubers, is to make sure and season your wings the night before, if at all possible. And so what I did last night was I put together my spice rub, which I'll tell you a bit about in a bit, and I covered these beautiful wings. These are all put together. Sometimes, you know what, it just depends on what you find in the supermarket, but this past time there were no wings that were separated. They were all just whole. So that's what we're going to do, right? We just have to use what we have and make the good of it. So these were tossed with a wonderful dry rub, and I saved some of it for tossing after they're done cooking as well, just to make sure that they've got that yumminess before we drizzle them with the Alabama white sauce. So just to let you know what I did last night, and the recipe is below. I actually did a compilation of a bunch of recipes. The links are below, the ones that inspired me. But what I ended up with, the measurements are down below, but it was brown sugar, smoked paprika, black pepper, smoked black pepper, and I'll talk about that in a second, and salt, onion and garlic powder, cumin, coriander, ancho chili powder for some spice. And then for some of the mixture, I mixed some baking powder. Now, those of you who have watched me do a bunch of these wings, you know that I've kind of gone away. The very first time I tried some baking powder with, I think it was actually baking soda, and I was watching this one video that's listed below, and she, is a cook for Bon Appetit, and I'm like, you know what, maybe I will try baking powder. Maybe it'll be a little different, because I believe I'd used baking soda last time. So, and I put it with the dry rub. So the one thing to make sure when you're making this recipe is before you do that, set aside some of the rub. I set aside about a 1/4 cup separate for tossing once they come out of the air fryer. And by the way, I'm going to actually get my air fryer preheated so that it's ready to go in a few minutes. So let me do that. Now, some variations for you when you are doing this. If you are not a spicy person, you can change it a couple ways. One thing you can do is you cannot put in the ancho chili powder, because that will bring some heat. Everything else really doesn't bring heat. Smoked paprika just brings a lot of flavor, but you could always use sweet paprika. And frankly, for a lot of these things, you could either leave them out or you could substitute, things that you enjoy. In fact, I will tell you, the two things I did want to talk to you about, since I'm in the city, I don't have a grill, because we don't have a space to be able to use a grill. So I miss that, having had that when I was in the suburbs. So one of the things I do as a cheat is I've gotten these two products. One is a smoked sea salt, and it's in a grinder, and the other one is a smoked black pepper. And I used the smoked black pepper actually in my recipe today, because I did want to get a little bit of smokiness. So, so that's a little cheat that you could do, but you don't have to do it. You could just put regular black pepper in for that. So, Kathy, hello, welcome to the stream. I'm so excited about this recipe. I think it's going to be really delicious, and I like a crispy wing, so there won't be anything that we're tossing it in afterwards besides a little more seasoning, so they are going to be super crispy. So once the air fryer is all heated up, I'm going to put it in and get it going. I'm going to be cooking these wings to start. These are a little bit bigger, so I'm going to start them at 380 for 20 minutes, turning them halfway, so turning them after 10 minutes. And then I'm going to just see what I think, if I think they should go a little bit longer. So I have a feeling, because of their size, I might want them to go even 5 more minutes longer, but we'll just kind of play it by ear and see what happens. So Kathy, how are you? Are you having a good week? I hope you're having a good week. And anyone else that is watching, I hope or I'm very glad you're here, and I hope that you're having a great week. And please let me know if you've had any Alabama white sauce. So that was something that's very regional here in the States, down south. And as I said, one of the reasons we did do the dry brine on these is it really makes that skin texture drier. So it's going to give us crispier wing. So, and one of the things I'll be doing when the timing is right is I'll be using this is just a just a neutral oil to spray on both sides. But yeah, so very excited. So have you ever had an Alabama white sauce? If you are watching this live or if you watch it later, I'd love to know that. One of the things I like about our regions here in the States is there's so many different things that you can find depending upon where you travel. And I love trying the regional specialties, so to speak, because I think it teaches us a lot about our history, and frankly, it's just a lot of fun flavors. So the Alabama white sauce is, some people get confused because they'll say, well, it's a barbecue sauce, but it's white, it's not red, and I'm confused. So it's not meant to be a barbecue sauce in the way that we think usually of barbecue sauces, and it's something to be dressed with afterwards. In fact, some people just dunk the whole thing in the sauce and then eat the chicken pieces, or in our case, the wings. But a little bit about the history of that. Let me tell you, I actually did my research and wanted to share some things with you while our air fryer is, getting heated up. The Alabama white sauce had started with Big Bob Gibson Barbecue in Decatur, Alabama, and it is a North Alabama tradition dating back to 1925, and it's a favorite to serve with smoky grilled wings. So since I don't have a grill, I can't make smoky grilled wings, but I can make air fryered wings, and that's why I did some of the smoked pepper in that. But it's a wonderful thing to top over really anything grilled. From when I read about the Alabama white sauce, people just love it as just their condiment. And preferably it's something to actually fix ahead of time so it has a chance for all the flavors to meld. But we're not going to have a chance to do that. It's just going to be put together a little bit before our wings are done. But it'll still be delicious. But it's one of those things that can stay in your fridge for quite a while and just get better and better until you use it. And it's mainly a mix of mayonnaise, vinegar, horseradish, and other spices. And the one today, the recipe's below, and I will be going over that once I get these in and showing you all the ingredients that we'll be using today for my white sauce. And again, it's kind of a compilation of some other ones I've seen. But it is common for cooks to dunk their chicken wings, sometimes in a more classical barbecue sauce. This Alabama alternative is instead poured often over freshly cooked chicken. So yes, I'm really excited to use this. Now, I have had this sauce before, and I really do enjoy it with barbecue. So I hope you'll enjoy it if you try it. But our oven is ready. It's hot. So let's get these guys in. The first thing I'm going to do is get some oil sprayed on the bottom. And then I'm going to get some tongs because I'll need them. I feel like it's kind of been feeling like Alabama here lately. I'll tell you. In fact, you know what? I'm going to change that up. I'm going to spray these first, flip them on their fronts, and then spray the tops. It's just been hot and humid and stormy here. We've had such a kind of dry spring, and we were actually needing rain, and that has all been changed up in the past week. Lots of wet weather and warmth, and not actually, it could be warmer. I know in the south, they are hit with a lot of warmth right now, and we definitely don't have that kind of warmth. But, once that humidity starts up, it just gets gross. And I am definitely a wuss with humidity. I do not like humidity whatsoever. All right, so I'm just going to get these guys nestled in so they have room to kind of breathe and be themselves. There we go. And then I'm going to give these another spritz, and we're going to get these guys cooking. So this is my Wings Wednesday. Putting this in at 380. And it's going to be for 20 minutes, but I'm going to turn them after 10. So that's going, it's on its way. All right, and we'll keep this close in case we need some more oil. So I feel like it's been forever since I had some wings, so I'm really looking forward to these. And you know, I feel like with the air fryer, we have certainly enjoyed having wings once a month, and I don't feel bad about it, and I think it's actually a very doable thing, and usually Hubs and I just have a salad with it, so it makes it quite tasty. All right, so let me get back to the chat here. Oh, hey Matthew, welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining. And Archie, you are more than welcome. And Barbara, oh my goodness, you guys, welcome to the stream. I'm so glad to have you. So I was asking Kathy, and I know sometimes Kathy, you can't, join in the chat as much because sometimes you're doing some work, but I was wondering if you all have had the Alabama white sauce. I think the first time I tried it, because I was never down south where I was given the chance to sample some, but I know when I had made it last summer when we were going up to my sister's lake house, I was in charge of a meal, and I grilled some chicken, I think it was chicken thighs, and did a rub on them, and then made the barbecue or the Alabama white sauce for drizzling afterwards. And it's a unique condiment, but it is really addictive and tasty. So yes, so you'll have to let me know if you try this. This is like a fun way to mix things up for a barbecue. And of course, this isn't a true barbecue because I'm in a condo, no grill. So yeah, but you know what? We do with what we can, and this is what I can do. So one thing that we're going to start so it can get its flavors melded are the Alabama white sauce. So in our sauce, we're going to have 1 cup of mayo, and in fact, in the South, it would be Duke's mayonnaise. That is the mayo of the South. I'm going to be using my light Hellmann's because, you know what, I'm going to be real, I save it where I can, and my husband and I like the taste, so that is what we will be using, but you use whatever you want, Kewpie, Duke's, regular Hellmann's, whatever. And a 1/2 cup of apple cider vinegar. So that was a 1 cup mayo, a 1/2 cup apple cider vinegar, a 1/2 of a lemon squeezed, a 1/4 cup sugar, 1 teaspoon black pepper, a 1/4 teaspoon cayenne, a 1/2 teaspoon salt, and 1 teaspoon Worcestershire, and then 1/2 to 1 tablespoon of horseradish. So that depends. I find that sometimes I get horseradish and it's like really, it's really got that bite, and other times it doesn't. So I put that range because I'm going to start with a 1/2, taste it, and then see what we want to do. So let's get started. All right, so I've got my little measuring cup, my ingredients. We'll get them over. So I hope everyone's having a happy hump day. Hubs will not be here for this one because he has a workout scheduled later, so he'll be eating once he gets home. So you all just got me tonight. There we go. And I'm having a bonus stream on Friday for Takeout Tuesday on Friday. At least we're doing Wings Wednesday on Wednesday. But for that one that we weren't able to do because did not realize they were not, the Korean place did not, they weren't open on Tuesdays. So sad. And hopefully I won't do that again because I think I've done that one other time. And anywho, I will try to be best. I will tell you that. So in here, I need my mayo. Let me get my mayo. And in fact, I think I literally have just enough mayo for a cup. Oh, and by the way, I will tell you, or at least share with y'all because you're here, that in here, I'm making, I don't know if you can all see that, I've got my sourdough bread, and it's doing its bulk rise right now. So I was a busy little bee today, so let me see what y'all are saying. Oh, you are super quiet today. Oh my goodness. Archie, you got to stir up some fun. Alrighty, so, and Archie, I really enjoyed hearing Amy sing. That had to have been very emotional. I don't know, whenever I've seen our boys, do things that they work hard for, it is just a very proud moment as a parent, and I know you were a really proud dad for that. So in our cup here, we're going to put 1 cup of mayo. Let me get, And for my local friend, Barbara, I will say, I saw that our air quality is going to be going down again. Today actually isn't as bad as they predicted. So we'll see what tomorrow brings. But I know some of our Midwestern friends are really getting it. They're getting it kind of bad. So that looks like about a cup. I'm just going to put that aside. Yeah, you know what? That's silly. I'm just going to finish. There's hardly anything left here. We'll just adjust the seasoning if we need to, especially the bite of the vinegars and lemon. All right. So there we have our estimated cup of mayo. And then we're going to add a half cup of apple cider vinegar. So I've got my measurements here. I have a feeling that the air stuff is going to be haunting us this summer because our poor Canadian friends have some fires that just are really tough to kind of beat right now. All right, let me get that in. Half cup. And then I'm going to put half a lemon squeezed, and that's what we can adjust. If we don't have enough tartness, I can always add more lemon since I did seem to, let me find a knife, since I did seem to put a little bit more, there we go. Since I did seem to put a little bit more mayo than I was expecting. Let's get this. So we do have extra lemon that we can get to. All right. This is kind of big lemon. Oh my God. Oh, so, yeah, this is going to be a little tricky one to get in there. Okay, let's get this in there. Hopefully it won't squirt all over me. So you can see we're going to have a lot of acid in this to give it some tartness and some bite, besides the pepper and some heat. Just lots of, it's very alive flavors going on in here. Then we're going to add a little bit of sweetness. We're going to make sure and add some sugar. So a 1/4 cup of sugar is going to go in here. You get that. 1/4 cup. Let's see. There we go. And then we're going to add 1 teaspoon of black pepper. Let's see. Let me see what y'all are saying. Come and live in Worcestershire. I know, we should. And definitely a weird month weather. But learn to say it first. Okay, so Arch, I bet you say some words that we say in the States that sound a little different. So I love your accent, and y'all got to give me love for mine, right, my friend? And I know you're always just teasing. Oh, and Alvin, thanks for joining. We're just mixing together the Alabama white sauce. Our wings have started in the air fryer. So now I'm going to be adding 1 teaspoon, make sure I have the right one, of black pepper. So you definitely need a bunch of black pepper for this. And a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne for a little heat. Like I said, the heat on my wings, I use some ancho chili powder, but you could use, you know, whatever you wanted to heat it up. And then a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I think this was the measurement based on looking at the recipes when I compiled this that seemed the most surprising. So I'm going to keep that salt nearby in case I need to add a little bit more to it. And then 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire. Get that in. Which gives just great umami flavor. Awesome, awesome. And then lastly is that horseradish to give us some of that like nasal heat. That is awesome. So let's give some of this in there, and then we'll get stirred up and see how it tastes so far. So I can always add more of this. I will keep this nearby too, because I definitely like a little bite. And so, you know, this is where you can make the sauce your own. If you find it's too much acid for your taste with the vinegar and the lemon juice, you could always add less. This is supposed to be a thin sauce, so don't get worried. We're going to definitely be drizzling it on. Important thing is that it tastes good, right? Let's see here. Get it stirred up nice. Let me show you what it looks like so far. There you go. You can see all that pepper. Oh my goodness. All right, let me give this a taste. Let's see. Let me just show you I'm going to whip it a little bit more because some of our mayonnaise is still in there, but you can just see it is a thin sauce. Okay? You could make it thicker, but that would not be traditional. It's meant to be a thin sauce. Let me taste it. Oh, that is really good. That is really good. Oh, y'all got to try this. This is really good. I would like a little more horseradish, so I'm going to add a little bit more to it. I'm going to add maybe another teaspoon-ish. Let's see how that goes. And I hear that my wings are done, so let's give them a check before we finish that sauce up. All right. Woo! Look at these. They puffed up. And Archie, these are huge. You're going to be so jealous, my friend. Look how beautiful those are. Oh, my goodness. They are gorgeous. Let me move this so I can flip them and spray the other side. Wow. They totally puffed up. Oh, my gosh. They look gorgeous. Not cooked yet, but they are getting there for sure. Let me just flip these fellas. They all have a nice amount of space so they can cook and have that air going around them. They are standing up on end. Oh, they smell so amazing. Just turn this one like that. Give them a little bit more room. All right, let me give it a little spray and back in. Look fabulous. Yum. I wish you could all smell. All right, so I'm just going to whisk this a little bit harder just to there's a couple of those you know how mayonnaise, when you break it up into something, it might still have the little white stuff. I want that out. I'm just going to whip it up a little bit more. So yeah, so Friday's stream will be for Bukchon, and we'll be getting a lot of yummy Korean specialties that have been recommended from that place. So that'll be Hubs and my dinner on Friday. And then Saturday, we are enjoying our anniversary and going out to a schmancy place. So looking forward to that. I don't know if I'm going to be giving pictures. That is in discussion, couple discussion right now. Now, I will tell you, I've gotten quite the skill of getting the quick pick where it's not obnoxious. So that's my plan to try, but I just want to make sure Hubs is on board. There have been some times that we've gone out and I haven't taken pictures, but he does tease me endlessly about the pictures I take, and I say it's all for my foodie friends. All right, let's see how this tastes. Oh, that is so good. You know what? The sugar is really what balances it all out. It's amazing. It just does such a great job. All right, so I'm going to get a little ladle so I can ladle this on later. Later. But this is yummy. This is going to be delicious. All right, so we can put this away. DS, welcome. Oh, thank you, Barbara. I know they are wings on steroids. They're literally, not, but they're huge. They're huge. They're huge for Philly wings, I will say. I do like my wings, Art, right? Yes, DS, highly recommend. It's very different. It is not a barbecue sauce per se. It's just what they use down south, especially in Alabama. But what's nice is, you know how traditional barbecue sauce always have that tang from the sour, whether it's whatever vinegar might be used. This gives you the sweet, the tang, the salty, and you can decide how spicy. Now, I added some spice to my wings, so if you had more mild wings, you could always, just up the cayenne here to make this a little more spicy. So there's just lots of flexibility within it. But the recipe below is certainly, one version of it. So let me just put this all back here so we'll have room when these wings are done. So in the States, we're also celebrating the 4th next week. So is anyone doing anything special for the 4th of July? Here in Philly, it's huge for It's called Wawa Welcome America, and they have a huge celebration. Really, it already started. It started on Juneteenth, and there have just been different activities throughout the city. They have a big concert, fireworks, like just everything. And I'm sure DS in New York, there's a lot of fun goings-on there. By the way, if you recall, because there wasn't a ton of salt in this, I kept my salt handy. I think the salt's fine. I know there's some salt in mayonnaise. With everything else going on, you don't really, my personal opinion, need it any more salty, but then, you do that to taste for sure. Tidy this up. Put this horseradish back in the fridge. All right. I'm so excited. I've missed the sourdough, so I'm really excited to make another sourdough tomorrow. I don't know if I'll make it tomorrow or I might bake it off maybe first thing Friday morning. Whoopsie. We'll just have to see. But because with sourdough, you can let it, as I've learned, you can let it cure in the fridge, for like overnight or for over 24 hours, 24 I think to 48 hours. So you have lots of flexibility as to when you want to bake it. So I'm just going to kind of see what seems to make sense. But then Hubs and I will have bread for the weekend, which will be nice. He probably will moan about it because he always claims I'm trying to put weight on him. And I said, no, I just love to cook. He's complained that all of our marriage, I will have to say. If there's any one complaint he has, is he always says that I cook too well, which is, I don't know about that, but meaning that he likes to eat what I make. All right, so let me get some of our stuff out. And I'm going to get a little plate too. Oh, and that's right. The first thing we're going to do is when our wings are ready, I'm going to toss them in some more of the the rub. Now remember, this part that I set aside does not have the baking powder in it. So, and I'm excited to try it with baking powder again because like I said, I found that it just didn't seem worth it. Not that it's a big deal to throw some baking powder in, but don't put it in the stuff you set aside. That's just for the ones that go in take off. I just haven't noticed it really does much for drying out the wing. So the rub is here, and we'll do a little tossing once we're done. Oh, so Arch, everything is down below. So if you go into description, I have the measurements for the spice rub as well as the Alabama white sauce. And I also have links to 3 other recipes that I used, some of their techniques or ingredients, putting together what I was finally going to do for mine. And oh, by the way, this was about 2 pounds of wings, but there was plenty of spice mixture, I would say, for definitely 3 pounds of wings. So this would be good. And I'll make that adjustment down there because I don't think I wrote down how much chicken wings I had. But I think it would be plenty for 3 pounds. I had like way over for 2 pounds. Let's see here. Yes, that performance of Amy's was amazing. Wonderful. Yes, actually, this sauce would be great just putting on some grilled chicken, right? To me, it's just a great condiment. It's, and I said, if you wanted it, traditionally it is thin, like I made. It is not meant to be an aioli because you do add quite a bit of vinegar. If you want to thicken it up per your desires, you could add more mayo. Of course, then it does mess with the whole sweet, salty, fat ratio sour thing. But certainly if you want that texture late, you could do that. And all I know is I am so stinking hungry smelling these yummy things right now. Oh my goodness. So, Arch, I was wondering, over in England, what's your next holiday to come up there? Because I know, like I said, we have 4th of July coming up. How about you all in England? Is there anything that comes up in the summertime? That's a good question. Oh, and by the way, please make sure anyone coming and tuning in, I appreciate your views, and also make sure to like and subscribe and share. So if you find someone that really wants to use the air fryer more or just loves wings, please make sure and share this for giving them something new to try. But this is one I've been looking forward to for months. And I also am getting together my schedule for July. Don't have everything all made up yet, but we'll be dropping that sometime over the weekend would be my guess. So I have a couple last minute things to fine tune, and because of going away to my sister's new lake house, we'll be doing some releases of videos during that time too, because I'll be with family and unable to do anything live at that time. So I will have all that down in my schedule for July. Yes, you can always share on Twitter also. And Arch said no national holidays, but so many folks take a 2-week break for summer in July, August. Yes. So Arch, that's a really good question coming from a teacher here. We tend to have, depending on the school district, almost 3 months of summer between school sessions. What do you guys do in England? You said 2 weeks. Do you take breaks intermittently through the year? I know there's a couple districts that are looking to do that, I think out west, but let me know what you all do. Oh my goodness. Look at these. Look at those. I don't know if you can hear them. Oh my gosh. They are beautiful and they look amazing. Now I gotta figure out how crispy these guys are so I know if I'm gonna put them in for a little longer. Ooh, hot. They're pretty crispy. Let me see the underside. So since we flipped them, I felt like the underside, I just want to get that a little bit crispy again. I'm just going to put it in for a few more minutes. You know me, I really like a crispy wing. And then we will give these one more shake with some spice. So let me get a little bit more oil on this so it crisps up nicely. Okay, just a couple more minutes. Oh, whoopsie. I do wish, I like my air fryer, but I wish there was a number, 1 through 9. So instead of having to do plus or minus, you could just type in what you wanted your cooktop to be. I know, right? Isn't that awesome? Oh, yes, it smells amazing. It is definitely, my neighbors are gonna be hating me. I'm telling you what. Definitely gonna be hating me. All right, so I've got my napkins. And of course, I'm gonna have a little salad with this. I've got my tomatoes already marinating, so I can just top them over some greens that I just have crisping in the fridge, and they'll be good to go. Oh, Archie, by the way, I gotta tell you, friend, I have some of these ripening still. I am so glad last year you told me about these golden kiwis. These are one of my favorite things. The first batch I got were almost totally ripe, and so pretty soon after I got them, I enjoyed them for days. They're just so delicious. And now these were definitely not ripe, so I've been patient, but they're not quite ready yet. But thank you, friend, for sharing about that, because those are amazing. I've not tried the white strawberries yet. I've been seeing a couple pictures of people with white strawberries. I've not seen them yet, and that really goes against everything I know. But one of these times, I'm going to just break down and try it. So DS says, what do you like most about Philadelphia or Pennsylvania? You were in Ohio. How'd you end up in Philly? Oh, that's a great question. So, so my folks, first of all, are from Ohio, and but for a job, my dad went east, and so I was born in New Jersey, and we lived here right outside of Philly, here in South Jersey, for many years, and then he got transferred back to Ohio when I was in junior high. So then spent the rest of junior high, all high school in Ohio, went to college in Ohio at Mine University, and then got my teaching job outside of Cincinnati in a little rural district, very not city, very rural, and then met my husband on a blind date, fixed up by friends of ours, and And so, yeah, so then we met. So this was, after I was working for a couple years, we met, married. And then at that point, my sister, she had lived in Chicago, and then Boston. She moved there with her husband at that point. Still at that point, but like they got married and she moved out to Boston. They moved out to Boston together, and then they moved back to Philly, outside on the west side of Philly in Pennsylvania, on the main line. And we were both having our first child, and we were just missing each other, my sister and I, and we thought, we were very close with our cousins. And so the idea of like not having our kids close was not like a favorable thing. And so in any event, I said to my newly married husband, by the way, look at this. Look at how gorgeous. Look at that color. Look at how gorgeous that is. Oh my goodness. Said to my newly married husband, could you find a job in Philly? I mean, and he's just like, okay. Because, that's what you do when you're young and in love. I mean, we weren't as young as many people are, but still youngish, right? And so, yeah. So he found a job, and we moved, and we lived in South Jersey at that point. I'm just going to toss these guys. And, yeah. So, and then we, moved to the city when we were empty nesting, when our kids were getting older. So we moved here, I guess like in 2019. And yeah, that is our story. So now I've definitely lived out here longer than, living in Ohio. But we used to live by Cincinnati. So definitely, I mean, besides, we have some good friends in Cincinnati that we miss dearly. But besides friends, the next thing we miss is the food. Now, Cincinnati has great food. I would say Philly has a more diverse kind of food. And maybe Cincinnati has changed, but, has a much wider variety of foods. So by the way, I'm going to put these here. But they are hot. But yeah, we do miss Cincinnati chili we loved. And what else do we love there? Oh, they had these great ribs called Montgomery Inn ribs. They had this delicious ice cream called Grater's ice cream. Still one of my favorite ice creams. You can get it at Whole Foods. And so, I think at most Whole Foods in the United States, you can get Grater's, Graeters. My favorite is black raspberry chip. And the thing with Grater's ice cream is when you come across one of their chocolate chips, they're not traditional chips. They basically take amazing dark chocolate and they kind of, bulk it up. And, some chips are small, but the gold is when you get a little pint and you hit like rock and you're like, that is going to be a big chunk of chocolate. And it is really good chocolate. All right, so friends, let me show you what we have here. There we go. Now let me give it a drizzle. Give it a drizzle, and then we'll give it a try. So I'm just going to drizzle this over top. There we go. I will say the one thing we've also enjoyed from Philly is the sports. Now, Philly is kind of a hard sports town. We don't always do well with our teams, but it does better than Cincinnati, I will say that. So it's not quite, we've had some really great. So there we are. So these are the, the dry rub with so many yummy spices and covered with that Alabama white sauce. So I hope you all try that. All right. Let's give it a try. Now I'm going to burn my mouth on that. I can just tell. Let's see. I'll try this one. Okay, let me get it open first because it's going to be, let it cool. Oh, that is hot. But that is good. Oh my gosh. That is good. Okay, let's get to this. I'm a little braver than Hub, so I can do this. I'll do two hands. Well, the first bone came just right clean out. How about that? There's just one little bone left in there. Wow. Let me take another bite. Mmm. The meat is juicy, cooked perfectly. There is so much flavor. Like I think of Guy Fieri, just Flavor Town. Oh my goodness. Excuse me for finger licking. Mm. Oh my word, that is delicious. There are so many not herbs, but spices in there, and tossing them with the spice mixture also gives this texture, which is like an awesome thing, and just gives it more flavor. I'm so glad I did that. That was a tip from the girl who did the Bon Appetit video. She talked about saving some of the dry rub and tossing it afterwards. And then that sauce, it just adds like these other notes, right? This sour, creamy, continued with the pepper. Like there's a pepper theme in this, no doubt. But it's not over top. Like it's just good. It is so delicious. And these wings, oh my gosh, perfectly cooked. And the color, you saw that. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to eat these up. So delicious, highly recommend. Like we were saying, this white sauce, you could just grill stuff and put this over, whether it's grilling some fish, grilling some chicken. They put it on pork too. So really, anything like that. It's just a lovely switch up. You know what I like? One of the things I love about all the different places around the world we have is switching up, whether we're going to have something that's Thai, something that is German, right? There's just all these different flavors around the world. So one of the things I love about this is it shows flavors around the United States, and it just mixes things up. But these are delicious, and I'm so grateful for my air fryer because they do not let me down. And my chat just went black. So let me see. Y'all, let me get y'all back up. Oh, critical low battery. 1 second, friends. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, goodness gracious. Hopefully I can get this plugged in because I want to say thank you to y'all. I feel like I sound a little southern there. I've always said y'all. In fact, my youngest does that. Okay. Oh, goodness. Let me see if I can get you back up. It was not happy. I didn't realize my laptop was so low. Okay, it's coming up. Thank you guys for being patient. Let me see. Come on. Oh, goodness. No, my computer is not happy. I'm trying to think. You know what? Wait 1 sec. Oh, I wish I could look at the chat that was there. All right, so friends, I'm afraid that I can't see your last comments, but oh my goodness. Kathy and Archie and DS and Matthew and Alvin AR and Barbara, and hopefully there's nobody else that I've missed, but anyone that's watching in the wings, as I always say, I appreciate your support. Thank you so much for coming on the stream. Try these. These would be great on the grill. I don't have a grill, which is why the air fryer, but try this. This is delicious. This is flavor for miles. So yummy. And yes, it would be, and this rub would be great on just putting on grilled chicken. It would be a great rub. We're just using it for wings right now. So this could be your new summer hit. So please make sure you try it and let me know if you do. So until, I'll see you all on Friday. For those that can attend for the Korean Bukchon restaurant for takeout, try, or buy, and we will we'll see you then. So thank you so much until we eat again. Bye, friends. Have a great week.